Hey guys, Objector here, and recently Halo 5 released a new patch, so I'm going to go through all the patch notes so you know exactly what to expect from this patch and what changes have been made to Halo 5. There's a lot to cover here guys, so it's going to be a slightly longer video, but bear with me, I'm going to try and get through it quickly as I can, so let's get started. So first off, the big change is Forge is now available in Halo 5. Personally, I'm not a big forger, but I know a lot of people are, and they were disappointed that this was not a feature that was included with launch. But now it is available. They've made a lot of changes, it looks like. You can now add a lot of light set pieces. Made things a lot more user-friendly, I think. And well, I know a lot of people have been waiting for this to come out, and now it's finally here. Next, they added a new file browser. Players can now bookmark and share custom maps and modes through the active roster by following or becoming friends with a player. There's over 30 new recs, including weapons, armor, emblems, and more that have been added. This was a big one for me. They've added a bunch of new stuff, a bunch of new armor pieces, and 2 new assassinations. You still have to unlock these. I originally thought they were just giving these away as kind of like a Christmas bonus, but you still have to unlock them through the rec packs. But there's some really cool armor. I have gotten them through the new buy a bunch of the lead gold rec packs, and I've unlocked a few of the new helmets, and they look really sweet. Really happy about this. They added a bunch to the game here. Next, Battle of Noctis map added to Warzone. So you got a new map in Warzone. Overgrowth map added to the arena. Entombed and Antifreeze maps added to Big Team Battle. So we have 4 new maps coming with this patch. I think this is great. Shows that 343 is really caring about the maps, its customers, and what we want from the Halo 5. And let's see, next, now commendations and service records for Spartan companies have been added and can be tracked through the Halo channel and Halo Waypoint. So your personal Spartan company can have its own service records and commendations and things like that. Social playlists have been added, Big Team Battle and Holiday Social. So I'm not sure how long these are going to last, if they're long-term or just for the holiday. But it's unranked, just kind of a social. I don't really care about how well I perform, or I just want to hang out with friends and have some fun. Holiday Doubles playlist added. This is a ranked playlist, but the old 2-on-2, every bunch of different teams. A lot of fun there. Advanced controller settings options have been added, including controls for aim acceleration as well as dead zone controls. These settings are automatically set to the previous defaults you've been playing on, and if you go to Halo Waypoint, you can get full details on this and what it means. Next, seasons for ranked playlists have been added. The January 2016 season has already started. So in other words, there's going to be a set seasons for your ranked playlist, and after each season ends and a new one begins, you're going to have to play your 10 preliminary matches again to get ranked, put back into your ranked playlist again. So I'm not entirely sure why they decided to do this, why they decided this change was necessary. Just seems like I just have to play through my 10 prelims again to get back to where I'm sorted with similar competition, but is how it is. It's how they're going to be doing it. Different seasons, so if you get unlucky in your prelims, I guess, then you'll get another shot to be placed in a playlist that's more your speed. Next up, they've enabled the ability to purchase multiple gold rec packs in one single purchase, several of which will include a free bonus pack. I've already done this with the $20 one, I believe, and that's how I got some of the new armor and headgear. It's really cool. Nothing overpowered. There's not the variants in Warzone aren't overpowered, so I don't see this as a pay-to-win type model, but they do have to be a little careful with it. I would like to see a little more customization out of them instead of the powered guns and stuff like that, but it's just another part of the game. And next up, we have some changes to multiplayer. First of all, free-for-all playlist reduced to 6 players from 8. They fixed Warzone Assault Armory exploit. Replaced the Scorpion on recurve with Gauze Warthog. They removed the Mantis from Guillotine and added a Warthog for each team. Fixed spawning bugs that sometimes spawn a player on red team in the blue base on deck lock at the start of the match. I didn't have that, but that would actually really suck to just spawn in on the other enemy spawn right at the beginning of the match. Next up, fixed an issue where players could escape Gamble's normal play boundaries. Added interactive switches to deadlock to control window shutters and doors for each base. Fix the bug and breakout that awards kills after the flag has been captured. Add flag grab statistic to post-game carnage report. Fix the free-for-all bug where kills were shown in the scoreboard rather than score. Added medal for melees performed to an enemy's back. And added in-game text for flag driver medal. So, essentially some balancing fixes on some of the larger maps with the vehicles. And other than that, just fixing some minor bugs that they had to clean up. So next up, we have some changes to the campaign. First of all, improves the stability when joining a Fireteam's campaign mission in progress. Joining a Fireteam's campaign mission in progress will no longer force all Fireteam members back to the character selection screen. And fix the bug on Guardians that hindered a player's movement if they died and were unable to complete the mission. And that's it. That's all for the campaign changes. Just some bug fixes, nothing major here. Next up, ranking. They adjusted the CSR placements for SWAT and free-for-all playlist, and fixed some bugs surrounding players being placed too high across all the playlists. So sometimes players are getting placed into higher levels than they should be. This should fix that. Now they'll be placed along more people that are similar skill set as you. And next up, they have some changes to the user interface. In the lobby, the amount of rec points and number of unopened rec packs will be visible during intermission and lobby. Nice little change there, so you actually don't have to keep backing in and out, and nothing big, just a nice little change. Then they fixed the bug around Fireteam sorting. The Fireteam leader will now be displayed at the top, followed by his or her team in alphabetical order by gamertag. And for custom games, all other teams will be grouped together and then sorted alphabetically as well. So not a big deal, just if you want to be on top, make sure you're either your Fireteam leader or your gamertag starts with A. Active roster. Friends status will now be visible from the friends list, so you can see what your friends are doing in Halo 5 Guardians. It's not a big deal with the new Xbox One layout, where you can just double click the X button and see everything, but it's nice that I don't actually have to physically leave the game to see this. And then they fixed the bug around friend sorting, so it sorts online and offline friends again alphabetically. And then they're going on to the rec packages. Rec rarity and description will be visible for all recs when opening a rec pack or browsing your collection, whether you own it or not. This is actually really nice when you're opening new rec packs. You can see instantly if it's a rare, legendary, the different rarity levels that you have opened. So it's kind of nice. Next, rec energy costs will also be displayed for all of your recs when opening a rec pack or browsing your rec collection. Again, this is kind of nice, so you can see what that is. And then next up, spectate and theater mode. They added hidden controls to change players' point of view for up to 8 players in a match. Holding left trigger will enable the use of the D-pad and the ABXY face buttons to change players' point of view on the fly. Players are mapped to buttons alphabetically. So I don't spend a lot of time in spectate or theater mode since I just record onto my Elgato, but seems like a nice change. And next, added the ability to change player point of view from the scoreboard. Press the view button to bring up the scoreboard, use D-pad to navigate, and the A button to select the point of view. Fix the bug around player point of view selector sorting, now sort by team, and then alphabetically. Fix the bug around controls for zooming while in free cam. Fix the bug around not being able to hide the player's point of view selector in some cases. Fix the bug where ending a theater film place player into solo campaign. I didn't know they had this many bugs in the theater mode, but okay. Added ability to play and pause film while user interface is hidden using the A button. And that seems to be it for the theater. And moving on, some changes to the HUD. The location callout will now appear when dead, spectating, and smart link, and etc. This would be very nice if you're working with a team. You can just call out where you died at, and your team should know where you're at, be able to see the skull, and kind of get an idea for where the enemies are at. The highest score per column in the in-game scoreboard will have a visual call-out allowing you to see very quickly which player has the most kills, most assists, and least deaths. So I think this was referring to the little gold triangle in the column. If you see me probably in this gameplay, you'll have the little gold triangle if you have the most kills, most assists, fewest deaths, and stuff like that. Kind of let you know who's on your team is at a glance is doing the best and that kind of stuff. Next, they've made some changes to the controls. They've added advanced controller options. If you want full details on that, you can head over to Halo Waypoint. They've added custom controls, default control scheme for machinable custom game options, lower weapon, hold X, yeah, a bunch of changes there. You can go to Waypoint again and check it out. I will have a link down in the description below. Then other than that, they have some networking. They've improved ping times to dedicated servers and matchmaking, which is always nice. Improved gameplay quality under network conditions and high packet loss. So just some networking changes that should help reduce some lag. And then the Halo API Seasons endpoint added to the metadata. So now that they have the new seasons and start and endpoints, they decided that you can go and look at that and see where you were when the season ended and all that stuff. Alright, that's it, guys. A lot of new things came out in this patch. I love seeing games coming out with a bunch of post-launch content like this that's free to everybody. It shows a lot of support for the games and it helps keep things fresh and gives players a reason to come back. I know with Black Ops 3 coming out, Rainbow Six Siege, I myself even kind of drifted away from Halo for a bit. But this patch got me back into it and I've been enjoying every minute of it again. Great game. Love seeing the support for it. I know it's been a long video, guys. Thanks for sticking with it. If you haven't seen my previous video on how aim assist works in Halo 5, click the link on the screen now. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Until next time, this is Objector, signing off.